Hello and welcome to the Flashback Cartoon Hour here on Plug and Nug Radio. I'm your loving bald host, Nick Lascola.
I'm your best friend, Tony.
And I'm his real best friend, Andrew. No, I'm just... Who's your real best friend, Nick?
Just a room full of best
not
friends.
Santi, because he's not here.
He's not here. Let's talk about the elephant in the room, shall we?
Absolutely. Go ahead, host.
So we are missing one of our host of Flashback Cartoon Hour, Santi. He is out due to reasons.
Santi's not here. Why don't you ask him why?
Ask him why.
Because he hates us.
So today's episode is the Flintstones, the modern Stone Age family, beloved cartoon of the 1960s, Hanna-Barbera. I've been a big fan. Andrew, you must have watched some Flintstones growing up, right?
Of course, everyone's watched Flintstones.
I hope so. I mean, you don't see Flintstones today on TV.
I mean, fair enough.
What?
You know, bro, there's no like reruns or stuff. It's not being shown on Cartoon Network. They have all their own shows now. So
yeah.
Like, unless you have like the Boomerang, is there a Boomerang app? I'm assuming. You probably don't know.
You can watch it on HBO Max.
Oh yeah, which is what we're doing. I
just remember the Flintstones vitamins. I think more than Flintstones.
Oh, those are so delicious.
The television show. To be honest with you, yeah,
vitamins
aren't they?
Are bomb.
I think they're mostly sugar.
Pretty much. But they're the best
I was watching this thing called Console Wars on Paramount Plus, and it's about like the Sega Nintendo rivalry. And
Dreamcast all the way.
Sega brought in the ad guy that worked on Flintstone vitamins, like.
Flintstones, America's favorite.
Made them like,
I mean, who could be a better ad guy than that?
Super pop.
Yeah.
And they brought him in and they were like, all right, we need you to help us fight this empire that is Nintendo. And it was just really cool, like, because like the guys definitely check it out. It's a lot of cool facts. I didn't finish the thing yet, but I do plan to. But let's get into the Flintstones, shall we? With a runtime of 25 minutes, this beloved cartoon is set in a hilarious version of the Stone Age, but has added features and technologies that resemble like mid-20th century suburban America, with modern appliances being replaced with different like animals, Stone Age animals like mammoths, mastodons, pterodactyls, as birds and stuff. I actually have a list specifically of like what animal does what job,
and it's almost always birds, right?
Birds get such the shit end of the stick in the Flintstone time era. It's hilarious. But just to give you guys some examples of like what the birds were being put through, they had bird airplanes, bird alarm clocks, bird automatic door opener, bird broom, bird cameras, where like the bird was inside the camera and he would chisel the like with his nose. He would chisel.
That's great.
Okay, so I was doing the chisel hand movement, but they actually do it with their face, and they chisel out a picture. They have.
Why are you staring right into my eyes when you're saying half of this?
No, I'm just it's because you're where the camera, where the microphone is, so you're gonna have to deal with it. They have bird car horns, bird clothespins, bird crocketing needles,
crochet needles.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Crocketing?
Yeah, leave me alone.
Yeah, okay.
Bird fire starters, bird hedge clippers, bird intercom, bird letter opener. You're starting to get the gist.
A letter opener? Like you can't just use a knife or a rock.
Anything sharp. It seems like the bird was there.
Let's just put a bird.
And it's not even birds. They're all like mini pterodactyls.
Yeah,
they're like the size of birds. I'm like. The animated sitcom focuses on the lives of the modern Stone Age family, the Flintstones, and their kooky neighbors and best friends, the Rubbles. Without a doubt, the Flintstones was influenced by the famous 1950s sitcom The Honeymooners, starring Jackie Gleason, Audrey Meadows, Art Carney, and who is the
Betty White.
Yep. We'll go back. It might as well be. I can't remember who plays Trixie.
Trixie Tang.
Trixie Norton.
Do you remember who Trixie Tang is?
Of Fairly Odd Parents. Yeah. Also, Trixie from Speed Racer, previous flashback cartoon episode. Okay, throughout the series, each family gets their own baby, which was pretty cool. They meet Darren and Samantha from Bewitched, and watching that after finishing WandaVision was really cool because like you get a WandaVision feel from it, like the witch out of time and like kind of stuff. Really cool. And they even meet a little green alien with like reality bending powers that becomes a series regular by the like last season, named the Great Kazoo.
Oh, I love him.
Yeah,
every time he's on, it's always my favorite episodes.
What's up, Dum Dums? He's actually a lot nicer than like they portray him later. Like in the first couple episodes, he doesn't seem that mean. Like he kind of likes Fred and Barney. Like he calls them Dum Dums when they're trying to get him out of the spaceship that he falls into. Like he crash lands right in front of them, and you just hear the voice coming out, and I don't know why the Great Kazoo's stuck inside, and he's telling them to like dig out the mini spaceship, and he's like, there is a big red button. I'm like, how do they know what a button is? And he's like, there's a prong looking thing, and Fred also knew what like everything that he was mentioning on the spaceship. I'm like, how does this happen?
Fair enough.
It's great. I love it.
Did they have a commercial for Dum Dums with the Great Kazoo?
I don't think so. That would have been great, though. Get on that, Andrew. What are you doing? You're slacking.
Because Dum Dums are looking for new advertisement also. They're at the dollar store. That's the only reason they still exist.
They're trying to beat out Blow Pops,
get like 100 of them for $3.
Because like, the Dum Dums were great, but then once you started getting the lollipops with things inside...
Oh, Dum Dums are so much better.
No.
Fuck a Blow Pop.
All right, we're getting off.
They're both pretty good.
Yeah.
The gum is horrible. You chew it for like 5 seconds and it's like there's no flavor and it's hard.
So what? Risk reward, baby.
Risk reward. I'm like,
Risk
give me a
reward.
Dum Dum.
You get that
blue raspberry Dum Dum.
You get that juicy lollipop with the Blow Pop, unmistakably named so for many reasons, and it's so delicious. And
how
then
many
just
reasons?
To finish off your day, you get a crappy little piece of gum. It's like a nice parting gift. It's like, thanks for blowing me.
Oh,
well, you know, I shouldn't even say anything because I like those things. The snow. What are they called? It's the the things you get from the ice cream truck with it's basically the ice cream popsicle with the 2 gumballs, but it's all in a little cone.
They even have
2-ball screwball.
Oh yeah.
I would get a 2-ball screwball all the time, and the fucking gumballs.
I mean,
they
usually would do that. It would be like the Sonic the Hedgehog's eyes would be like the gumball, or like the Ninja Turtles' eyes would be the gumball. And they have
gumballs.
Flintstone.
So I guess I can't talk.
They have Flintstone ice creams, so we were able to bring this back to Flintstones.
Yay!
Good for Andrew. Full circle. So originally the Flintstones ran from September 30th, 1960 to April 1st, 1966. That's
just kidding. It was April 7th.
For a total of you'll like this. It's for a total of 6 seasons and a movie.
Ooh, 6 seasons in a movie.
6 seasons in a movie. Community, the TV show. That was like the thing is they always say 6 seasons in a movie. I thought that was great.
It is the perfect amount of anything. You need 6 seasons in a movie. It's perfect.
Although technically, if you want to go by the original pilot, the Flagstones, which I'm going to go into.
The Flagstones.
They were going to be called the Gladstones. Then it got switched to the Flagstones, but they were going to get hit with a lawsuit or copyright.
Why? Who was the Flagstones?
There was a family in like I want to say newspaper comics, or they had like their own little comic strip, and their names were Flagstones. So like it was too similar, so they switched it to the Flintstones.
That's so great.
The series ran for a total of 166 episodes, then followed by the movie A Man Named Flintstone, which was like basically the series finale. Mm-hmm. And that was like a James Bond musical spoof that was meant to like I said, work as the series finale. But it was really good. Animation was great. I made Tony watch it, and he loved it.
James Bond spoof. That's interesting.
Yeah. So basically, like, there's a James Bond style secret agent named Rock Slag, and he gets knocked out, but coincidentally, he looks identical to Fred.
And this is the pilot?
This is the movie.
Oh, okay. Rock Slag.
Basically the FBI or the police or whatever, they find Flintstone and they're like, you look just like him. We need you to work with us. We'll pay for you to go to all these like exotic places that should not exist, like Paris and like, you know what I mean? Like Italy, like they're still in the Stone Age, but like they have the Roman Colosseum or they have the Eiffel Tower and shit.
Sure. But it's made out of rock this time.
Everything's still rock, and it's just really funny. They're like speaking French and stuff, and you're like, none of this makes sense. But
French wasn't even a language. Why bother changing it?
But the whole thing was like, Fred thinks like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna go like. So there's an evil villain named like the Goose or like something like that, the Golden Goose, and Fred thinks he just has to go pick up a goose for like a real goose for the police. So he's like, oh, they're going to pay for all this stuff. So for me to go pick up this goose, that's great. And then they're like, oh, by the way, you can't tell anyone, not even your wife, that you're now a secret agent. So, you know, he's got to now have like this dual life of being a secret agent and actually like getting into shit because he's like poking his nose around. And then keeping it all from Wilma, Barney, and Betty, who now are in Europe with them. Pretty good. The pilot episode was the Flagstones. We're not going to watch that one. We're going to watch the pilot episode to the actual Flintstones.
Yeah. The first episode.
The first episode. This one is called the Flintstone Flyer. First let me go into Hanna-Barbera made the cartoon. William Hanna, Joseph Barbera. There were many writers on the show, so I'm not going to go through like a ton of them. But there is a cool little fact that Hanna-Barbera, Barbera in particular, actually hired Herbert Finn and Sidney Zelinka, two writers that had previously written on The Honeymooners.
They're trying to rip off.
To come in and write an episode. And MeTV reports Barbera paid them $3,000 only to deem their script subpar. And they didn't use it, and they were super pissed. And they were like, everyone compares us to them, so we bring in the writers, and it's trash. They actually keep Herbert Finn around, and he would do like, he would write about 23 episodes, but Sidney was like, get out of here, Sidney. The theme music composer is Hoyt Curtin. Also was the composer of many other Hanna-Barbera cartoons, such as Top Cat, Jetsons, Super Friends, Johnny Quest, Josie and the Pussycats, Smurfs, and the new Scooby-Doo movies, which, again, we had talked about in our previous episode. So now we can get into the pilot episode, The Flintstone Flyer. Yay! We made it, guys. We made it. So thank you. I just had to get all that out before we watched the pilot.
You should have seen him on the phone calls leading up to this recording. He was like a kid on a box of Gobstoppers.
I don't know what that means, but we're going to take your word for it.
Sugar high.
Watermelon sugar. All right.
I'm embarrassed for both of us right now, Nick.
Song
I run ear diet with Sandy. I can't be singing that shit.
All right. And away we go.
Check out all the episodes of Ear Diet.
Do I see a split? Just keep your eye on the ball, Bonnie boy.
So bowling is in the pilot episode. They at least got that right for the movie.
In that little like tiptoe thing is Fred's iconic.
Oh, and the split. This is the first episode.
Very first episode.
That's great.
But this is what they do. They show a little clip of the episode before they go in. I don't
Definitely
it's
strange.
so that you give viewers a taste of what they're getting into.
Yeah, but they're already
before
there.
They had the song right?
Oh, yeah. The song doesn't come in until like season 2.
Yeah, I love the song.
They deemed that this song was too close to the Looney Tunes theme song. So they had to switch it.
I can see that.
Mm-hmm.
took a couple of notes off. I just heard the couple of notes. And
Yep,
I was like, oh,
it's
that's
like a
awkward.
little
And
bit.
then I was like, oh, wait, because it's not Looney Tunes.
Well, a lot of theme music sounded kind of like this back in the day.
Yeah, I mean, what else is there?
Yeah, it's that like even Bewitched. It's that very da 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 da. It's the start of the show.
But that's just kind of funny how they
Look at the color of Dino. It's
like,
blue.
They literally have nothing better to do. Like, oh, this vaguely sounds like the Looney Tunes. It sounds nothing like.
And it's great.
That's like how Donald Duck Howard Duck got sued by Disney for looking like Donald. I'm like, fuck you.
But like if you notice,
It's
like
a
Pebbles
duck.
Pebbles isn't even in this yet,
Well, yeah. This
or
is the
like
first
Bam Bam
episode.
or nothing.
Well, yeah. I think I
They
knew
gotta
that.
get to the baby making later on.
Exactly. That's part of the plot. They make the babies.
Part of
Oh,
life.
honey,
Yes, Fred?
Oh, honey.
Sunday paper?
No, Fred, it hasn't come yet. Oh, Mr. Flintstone, here's your paper. Catch.
They hate. That's a running gag throughout the series. They hate the
And I'm
Paperboy.
lucky. It
Well,
only
'cause it's
comes
not made of
once a
paper.
week.
I think his name is. I think his name is Arnold, and they absolutely
Now
hate him.
let's see what the rock market's doing.
How the rock
I
market's
see the
doing.
Dodgers lost again.
The Dodgers.
Barney? Hiya, Fred. Neighbor, pal? What are you supposed to be doing besides annoying me on my day off? Practicing golf. Watch this. One more
I feel like
four
that's
out of
the
you, and
voice
I'll
I
give
remember.
you what for?
I'll show you a little bit later. We'll pull up a little clip and show how like deeper it gets. Or I can just have Tony do, because he's a really good impersonator of Barney.
You said it, Nicholas.
Fred Flintstone, the Captain Bullet Finals. Four.
Hold it, Fred. I gotta play them where they lie. Put your mouth up a little.
Why, you...
Funny enough, cool little fun fact: the Flintstones was the first animated series to use a laugh track.
Really?
Very first.
Fair enough.
You'll
I
find
feel
out-
like that makes sense because they're making fun of sitcoms.
You'll find out that the Flintstones do a lot of like first. They were the first cartoon to show a man and woman sleeping in the same bed, because that was like unheard of.
They were the first cartoon with a.
They were almost the first anything to do it. There was one other show before them that had like shown a husband and wife in the same bed, but before that it was like voodoo.
But they were the first show to have a fat husband and a hot wife.
Oh yeah, to be ripped off with The Simpsons, Family Guy, and
American Dad.
American Dad, like
Well,
literally
he's not
everything.
really fat, but he's
No,
good
but the
looking.
bumbling husband with the.
Yeah.
Barney! I said, Barney,
My Pebbles.
doing now?
It's my hobby I tried to tell you about. I build things, and it keeps my nimble little fingers busy. What do you think of it?
Before I think of it, what is it?
That little invention will make me the first man to take off into the blue.
Well, I got a little invention of my own, which is called a rap on the noggin if you don't cut out the noise. Into the blue. That thing? Will it work?
It'll work, Freddy friend. On account of the spiggle bolts connected to the toggle switch. The
God.
toggle switch connected to the ratchet rod. The ratchet rod connected to the tension trod, which in turn connected to the flywheel.
little song.
And zoom! Before you know it, you're airborne. Now, what do you think of my
I
invention?
love how like
Fred?
half of that almost made
You
sense.
still insist?
Like,
on
you
half
believed
of that
him.
was complete nonsense.
Like he was like you
Yeah.
were in it with him. You're like, yeah, no,
Now,
absolutely.
listen, neighbor, I'm going to save you a lot of work and inventing. I'm going to fix it so you won't need that thing to fly in. It works like this. My fist bone connected with your jawbone. And zoom, before
It's funny
you know
because
it,
they always
you
portray
are airborne.
Fred and Barney being
Now, let
such
me get
friends.
some-
Get
and,
it,
like, this is
bang,
how they
zoom.
started.
Excuse for a
Literally
neighbor.
how they started, just like
He's a
Fred
bundle
just
of
wants to
nerves.
beat the shit out of him.
Yeah, like
Well,
constantly.
if you watch
He's a
Honeymooners,
grump and a half.
if you watch The Honeymooners, that's the premise. So his best friend is his upstairs neighbor in their apartment, and his name is Edward Norton, and he always comes in, and the thing is like
Edward Norton?
Edward Norton,
Like the Hulk?
Ed Norton. Yes, it was the Hulk.
Fair enough.
The Hulk breaks downstairs, and then Ralph yells at him, and like the gag is he always yell, "Get out!"
Oh yeah, no.
Hey, it
the
worked.
only thing that I'm saying.
His flying machine worked, everybody. Now he's upside down. Okay, that's just silly.
No hands.
It's like if you turn a helicopter upside down, it'll still work. Like, what the fuck?
It works! He's really flying! Hey, Barney!
I shouldn't have told them. Fred told them. Now I look like an idiot. Don't I have egg on my face?
Now he wants to be a part of it. So you see Barney's eyeballs? You see how like they're clear? For some reason in later seasons they like fill them out and make them like completely black.
That's because he stopped doing drugs.
Yeah, he sobers up.
Right, Barney boy.
Well, it's weird 'cause he doesn't have
With my
pupils.
brains and your nimble fingers will make a fortune. Think of it. Think of it.
His like
No more traffic
whites are the size of
Slide right out the
Fred's
window each
pupil, and
morning.
then he doesn't have anything
There'll be
else.
two in every
He doesn't
case.
have a pupil. It's just that.
And
It's weird.
Wilma doesn't either. But her eyes are just two black
I
dots.
will be the
That is
president,
strange.
And I'll make you vice president in charge of production. Vice president. Hey,
Fred's
I even
already
got a
screwing
name
him.
for it. Listen to this, Barney boy. The Flintstone flyer. Well, I was gonna call it the Barney Copter. Not a bad
Barney-copter?
suggestion,
I like it.
Pete, but it ain't got the hard sell. We'll stick to the Flintstone flyer.
Which we were just talking about with Stan Lee in his, what's it called?
But you think you're ready for a
His
solo?
life and career.
No, with Peter Parker and,
Oh, the alliteration thing.
Yeah.
Peter
Flintstone
Parker,
flyer.
Dum Dum
I
Dugan.
will show you I'm ready to solo.
What's to
Fred
explain?
Really?
Flintstone.
Pumping,
Yeah, fair enough.
When you're up to speed, you take off.
That's all that's to it.
I didn't know
There's
Stanley
one
wrote the
other thing.
Flintstones.
Details. Don't bother me with details. Say
Little
what I
fun
get
fact
done.
for everybody.
I just wanted to tell him how to land. If he takes off, that is. Hey, you're too fat, Fred!
Details.
Back to the drawing board.
Hiya, Fred. How's the grounded eagle today? Why didn't you tell me you didn't get all the bugs out of that thing before you let me take it up? There's no bugs in it. You're just too fat. Yeah, well, I'm no fat head. I resign. Get yourself another boy, the president.
Have it your way, Freddie. From now on, the new president's gonna be me. Yours truly, Buzz Barney, Roger, Wilco, and O.U.T.
I like how he chose Buzz instead
Right
of
away.
Neil Armstrong.
Boys are gonna
Buzz
miss you
Barney.
tonight.
Buzz
What do you
Aldrin.
mean, miss me tonight?
How are you gonna bowl in that crash condition?
Are you kidding? I'll bowl tonight even if I have to push the ball down the alley with my nose.
Fred, spoken like the true captain of the Rockhead and Quarry Cave Construction.
Yoo-hoo, Fred. Fred, I'm home.
Hi, Wilma.
How are you feeling?
Great. I never felt better in my life.
Oh, I'm so glad. I thought sure you wouldn't be able to make it tonight.
You think a little scratch would keep me from going?
Just think, I almost returned
Wilma's
the
a smoke,
tickets.
though. Come on.
Tickets? What do I need tickets for?
You guys are like, why are you guys so attracted to old
Expect to go to
cartoons?
the
Daphne's a
Oscar
smoke. Wilma's a smoke. Apparently, you guys both like redheads, you and Santi.
Of course.
I actually really
You knew
don't.
we were
So
going
like
with the
it's
Rebels
it's
tonight.
Well, you think Daphne and Wilma are smoke, so
Well, we've
Santi
had
like
tickets for a
Daphne.
month.
fair enough. What are you, a
Does
Velma
Barney
guy?
know about this?
All the way. You know,
Those-
personally, I think Scooby is super sexy.
That Don Messick voice, bro.
Come here, Don Messing. Is that the same bit?
What
They
did
just
I
did it
do?
twice?
Nothing. I just wanted to tell you I'm not going bowling tonight.
Wow, can I?
Because I don't bowl on
captain of the
Shabbos.
team?
You're not going either. We're not going bowling because you had to buy tickets for the opera. But tonight,
Dope.
Jesus, Bonnie.
yeah, You forgot, and we can forget about the bowling championship. Thanks to you, opera lover.
Oh, we'll be drummed out of the Rockhead and Quarry bowling team for this.
I'd be better off if I broke my leg. Then at least I'd have had an excuse.
Hey, maybe you got a fractured skull and don't know it, hey.
I don't have one, but you will when the boys hear about this. Hey, wait a minute. Maybe I do have something wrong with my noggin. You do? And maybe it'll show up tonight, just when we're leaving.
But how does that get Bonnie at him?
You'll get it if you don't pay attention.
Because Barney has to stay and help him.
Yeah.
Fred, you were leaning in real close there, buddy.
That's what I heard.
Answer the door, dear. It must be the rubble.
I do like her voice. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Answer the door, dear.
Hi, neighbor.
Hi, Fred.
La donna immobile.
It sounds like Tony earlier. We were like, what?
Aren't you boys overdoing it a little?
Jeez, look at
Let's
Betty's
hurry or we'll be
style.
late. Have you got the tickets, Fred?
You mean her lack of style?
Love your dress. Oh, thanks. Fred, what's wrong?
Oh, he's pretending? He can just make his eyes do that? Like
His eyeballs were like, the pupils were rolling around.
The whole eyes were rolling around.
He's down and he's out.
Fred, speak to me.
He can't talk, Wilma. He's in a state of shock.
From the crash?
What else? With thick skulls, it sets in a lot later.
Quick, let's get into bed.
Alright, I'm liking this show so far. I don't hate this. I've seen it before, obviously, not in a very long time.
I was surprised with how funny it actually is.
Yeah.
Especially when they like Tony says that most cartoons have that pilot shine, like awkwardness. Once they like really get in it, some of the jokes are great. There's one point where Fred asks Barney, he goes, oh, how's your antenna? And Barney goes, oh, fine, how's yours? Which is like low-key like a penis joke.
Yeah. My favorite was
You'll be all right?
What can happen
three
with
heads.
Barney here?
Yeah, they don't call
He
me
said
Band-Aid
something
Barney
about
for
needing
nothing.
another head.
What do you think,
No,
Daddy? Well,
He said something about needing another head, and he's like, what would I do with a third head? Oh my god. It was great. What do I need another head for? I already got two of them. Like,
Yeah, the show really picks up in like the mid later this season. It gets really good.
Captain, hurry up and get your bowling ball. No, I feel hot tonight.
Well, what?
How are we gonna get into town? The girl's got the car.
Hey, how about hitchhiking?
Oh, sure. And maybe the wife
Barney doesn't have a
give
car?
us a lift
No,
back
no,
home.
he rides
Don't you
with
get
Fred
it?
to work.
oh
We
yeah?
gotta go to town, bowl, and beat them back here.
I got it. Simple. We go the overland route.
Not your crazy egg beater again.
Oh, sure, I fixed it. I added king-size flippers so it could carry a heavy load. Even a fat one.
If this gadget
Giggity.
doesn't work, I'm gonna unload a heavy
Come
load
on, Nick.
of mine.
Can carry a heavy load.
Set the co-pilot ready
It
for
does look like a
takeoff.
leg beater.
Better start praying if it don't.
And the bowling balls. I guess it doesn't even just drive it
Now
like
keep
that,
it where
right?
I sit.
Hey, maybe we ought to drop the bowling balls.
Yeah, on your head.
Hey, clap your arms up and down.
You mean like this?
It's working, Fred. It's
Oh
working.
my god.
Literally, Fred flops
Working,
and
Fred.
flies.
It's working.
How about that, Fred? The Barney Cup that does it again. I got news for you, Veep. I just re-elected myself president of the Flintstone Flyer Corporation.
That's the car?
That's the car?
Fred
Look at the
and Dad
car.
went off enjoying myself.
That's so weird.
They're-
Offering to stay with
I didn't see their
Right
feet at
after
all.
He said how
No.
much he wanted to go to the opera. I'd
Well,
feel
that's a
better
car
if I
that
knew
the
Fred
woman
was all
used.
right. Me
It's
too.
one where they
Let's
don't
call
have to
home at
pedal.
intimate.
I should mention I
We
watched
only
a
had
ton
one
of
God that was
episodes,
mentioned.
but the pilot in my research.
Whilst the
Yeah.
captain warms up.
It was one of those automatic models back in the day. The birds are driving it.
7-10 split.
How many times does he do this?
Birds driving it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, the birds are
Got an
driving
engine
it.
in there.
The
Keep
bird
your eye
engine.
on the ball,
Bird
Bobby
power.
boy.
Oh, this is what we saw earlier. Gotcha. This was the clip.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Is he gonna make it this time? Oh my God, he didn't. No, I'm just kidding.
I just love that the bowling ball splits in half.
That's the greatest.
Strikes again.
No, he doesn't have a bowling ball to bring home.
Yeah.
How about something to cool you off? The way I'm going, nothing.
And
can
he's got a
cool
new
me
one.
off.
I'm like,
What,
what'd
what
you
did,
lug
what,
them
what
there
did that
for?
vending
Hey, let me
machine
have
say?
one with a
Coconut
couple of
vanilla.
straws.
I swear to God.
Oh,
One frosty
yep.
one. coming up.
Cocoa nut.
Coconut Cooler.
Cooler.
Straws, please.
Just a hand that sticks out of the wall.
2 straws. They're gonna drink out of the same thing.
Yeah, why not? They're best
Is that
friends.
the first time a human was in the device instead of an animal?
I think so.
Barney
Screaming down the
blows the
friggin' lane.
whole operation. But
What do you got a strike
he gets a
though?
strike.
His thumb was stuck in the bowling ball that he threw, so he just flew the entire way.
Did I do good, Fred?
Did I do good, Fred?
Just great. Now, would you like to try bowling like the rest of us? Oh, boy.
Yeah, where
Big
your
strike
ball splits
coming up.
in two.
Shows a big win. Close your mouth.
That hurt me.
See, now that was really clever what they did. They literally
Yeah, the transition there.
had
That
a
was good.
transition from Fred screaming into opera that
The opera singer just
I bet you've never
super
seen
Looney Tunes flashbacks,
I
though,
bet
right?
you've never seen a Stone Age Viking.
yeah. But it does just remind me of Looney Tunes. It does just remind me of Looney Tunes. You know what I mean?
Of what?
The opera singer. I don't know why. Like,
yeah, because they
All I
had a
can
couple
think of is poor Fred
episodes
home
that were
suffering.
completely
Well,
based
if
around
it'll
opera.
make you
Yeah,
feel
yeah.
better,
So
let's
it's
go
like
out
one of
and
those
tell them
themes
right
that
now.
With
You know,
Elmer
I
Fudd,
would
kill the
feel better.
wabbit.
kill the wabbit.
Spear magic helmet.
Maybe there's a phone
My
in
spear
that
magic
bowling alley
helmet. That's what he
across
puts on to go hunt down bugs. He puts on his
dear,
spear.
I'm sure
He
Fred's
holds the
all
spear
right.
and he has a
He's
magic
not
helmet.
worrying.
I guess so. Okay. Spear magic helmet.
That's one of my favorite Looney Tune episodes.
Poor Fred.
all these
I hope he's not
cartoons
running a
kind of drew
fever.
off each other in a way.
No, of course. It's just funny to see that carry over, like opera. It's like, oh, alright. I guess it must have been more popular at a time too, because like,
Well, that's part of it too. Like back in those times, there was a lot of emphasis on like the classical.
I feel like even through to like the '90s, like there's an episode. Yeah, that was stupid.
You saw that, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you
Not,
see it, Tony?
not to interrupt you guys, but the bowling ball completely broke into a bunch of pieces, and one tiny pebble hit one of the pins, and all of them fell.
Yeah.
Fred is just a bowling god. Why does he not have a ton of money? Like, why does he not use this bowling skill?
dude.
He's the dude. The Fred abides.
Yeah.
Fred, look, over there in the phone booth. The wives. The wives?
We better go home. Something's wrong.
Yeah, I guess you're right. We'll just... Wilma, look. Isn't that Fred and Barney?
They see us with this. If they catch us, we'll
Why are they at the
word.
bowling alley?
They're heading this way. Hey, you have to quit. You're the captain. Hey, we can use that broom. Broom? What a time to get neat.
The fuck
What
kind
a
of broom
time
is
to get
that?
neat. Oh, they're pissed.
No.
They're
We
pissed.
had to babysit us.
I just love the body language
be
of the
cool,
walking there.
friend.
That's impressive, like animation, like
Yeah.
the drawing that they did that.
Husband.
Now it's my turn.
This is all hand drawn animation, right?
Oh yeah, back then,
heavens.
absolutely.
It's not fair. him.
Have we met?
I don't know why I thought it wouldn't be. I don't.
It's all written on stone.
True.
It's not drawn. It's
Hand
chiseled.
etched.
Chiseled and etched, damn it.
It's a football. I chiseled it.
Yeah. Hello, darling.
The mustaches.
The average husband could stand just so many pounds.
With the German accents.
And that's another great gag. It's
love
like
it.
they literally look exactly the same minus the accent and the stash, and that's enough to fool them.
Excuse us.
You look
Such a
like our
classic.
husband.
Well, if you're looking
It's like
for
Clark
your
Kent
husband,
putting
why
on
don't
his
you try
glasses.
looking at
Oh
home?
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I bet one of them is babysitting a sick friend.
Chirpity chirp.
A Vic's friend.
Let's go home.
That's for sure. Something real phony's going on.
Wow, that was a close one.
Yeah.
I think we've talked about Family Guy like 5 times now.
Oh, yeah.
There's another freaking cutaway that I'm popping in my head now, where Peter goes up to the free samples at the grocery store, and he's like, "Ooh, this is delicious, thank you," and he like walks away, and then another Peter comes by wearing like some mask or some hat or some stupid shit like that, and they do it like 3 or 4 times in a row, and the guy's like, "You know, you can take as many free samples as you want. Like, I'm not gonna stop you. Like, you don't have to keep putting on a hat." And then all the other 3 or 4 Peters come back out, and they're like, "What are you talking about?"
Yeah.
I'll be rich. How about me? Keep pumping. You beat 'em home
It's
by-
It's funny because we're gonna actually talk about Seth MacFarlane a little bit later.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was trying to do a reboot. He actually wrote a pilot episode in like 2011 for 2013 Flintstones reboot. But the studio just said like it was okay, it wasn't great, so they didn't go with it. But he tried like really hard to like he was gonna make the Flintstones,
Fair enough.
which is
If
like.
anyone could do it, I feel like he'd be the guy.
And I feel like you can definitely get away with more now. The Flintstones was
More
meant to
and
be.
less at the same
Well,
time.
Flintstones was meant to be an adult cartoon, but we'll go all into that after the episode.
I feel like you can get away with more, but also
What
get
do we
away with
say when
less.
they ask why we're
Yeah.
home so early?
Just say we missed them
Why not tell them the truth?
and say we don't trust them around the corner.
Well, clearly. They would not
They're not
trustworthy.
here.
They'll be back.
What do we do in the meantime?
In the meantime, we get meaner.
Quiet.
Maybe
That means
there's a
drunker,
leak.
by the way.
The bedtime story, Bob?
Sure, which one? Uncle Wiggily or I was a teenage brontosaurus?
And it's all
I was
possible.
a teenage
I'll never
brontosaurus. That's
mistrust Fred
great.
again.
And this was all
What's that
brought
supposed to be?
possible thanks to
I was a
Fred's
teenage
sponsorship.
angel. Is it?
They literally brought
We're a
them to
couple
the
of
Nirvana.
Yeah, that's for
peace.
sure. Let's be a lesson. Never doubt your husband.
What would?
Except for right now. Oh, Barney spills the beans. Oh,
Still
they
the
know.
fucking mustache.
They know.
You dope.
Dope.
Wilma, no, not in the head.
Domestic assault.
She's beating the shit.
Clothes flying out the window?
It's a rumble in the jungle.
Head for the wall.
And they're
Flapping for a quick takeoff.
Come back, you cowards!
Wilma, they're getting away.
Oh, don't worry. Whatever goes up sooner or later comes down. Especially the fat ones.
They're flapping away. I love it.
They're terrified of their wives.
And,
another common
how
thing.
long would you say they've been up there?
Oh, about 6 hours, give or take a few.
What the fuck?
But Fred, my legs are getting tired.
Are your legs tired or are you tired of living? Keep pumping.
Keep pumping.
The pump.
Did they just fly somewhere farther away? Like,
Yeah.
the wives haven't even moved. Like, that's so fucking dumb.
It's like sharks.
6
waiting.
hours. Like, what, are you dumb?
Nice to have you back.
Look at him going across the moon. I love it. Da da. Da 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 da.
Look at Wilma has no mouth. That was an animation
Oh
flaw.
yeah, look at that.
And then the famous scene of Fred putting the cat out and then getting locked out by the cat.
Of course.
The cat's name is actually Baby Puss. A lot of people don't know it, and he was only in like a handful of episodes. He was like...
I heard that's what Kelsey calls you.
Baby Puss? It's my little nickname.
Oh, the saber-tooth tiger cat.
My thing is, why doesn't he jump through the window?
And there's glass there.
No, the cat does it in a later scene. Like, they do different animation, and the cat jumps in through the window, throws him out, and then he doesn't jump in through the window. Ta-da! And that's the end of that. So, that was the pilot episode. Not as strong as the later episodes in season 1. Like I had mentioned earlier, Tony was right with that whole pilot awkwardness happening, and it was very heavily felt here. But it was still it was.
I don't think it was that heavy.
I think it was okay. I just don't think it was as funny as like when you watch some of the later episodes and like the later seasons. I think they're just wicked funny.
I did like it, so I guess I'm excited to watch more.
Yeah, there was a good time. I highly recommend it. It was a great show. Like we do here on Flashback,
great shows.
We see if they hold up. I personally think the Flintstones, the original series, holds up very well to modern day.
Fair enough.
Like you can show a kid today the Flintstones, and they'll still laugh at the jokes they'll be into it. Going on. Yeah, the basic premise. So now let's go into the voice actors that made this show so great. We'll start off with Fred Flintstone. He was voiced by Alan Reed from 1960 to 1977. Technically, it was Dawes Butler who voiced Fred in the original pilot, The Flagstones.
Gotcha. But he was replaced before.
So that was in 1959, and then they basically dropped everyone that was the voice actors in Flagstones. And they brought in...
He's not to be confused with Alan Rickman.
Yeah, that was a pretty good impersonation.
Thank you.
Professor Snape. Fred's voice and personality were a clear-cut prehistoric impersonation of Jackie Gleason's character, Ralph Cramden, from the 1950s sitcom The Honeymooners.
Which I've never really seen The Honeymooners.
And right here, I want you to add the Bang Zoom Alice voice clip. Reed would voice Fred for all 6 seasons and the movie, the animated movie, and many of the spin-offs. He passed away in 1977 due to emphysema.
Jeez.
His last time voicing...
They did do commercials for Winston.
That's it! Winston is the one filter cigarette that delivers flavor 20 times a pack. Winston's got that filter blend.
His last time voicing Fred would be in the 1977 series Scooby's All-Star Laugh Olympics.
Really? It was in Scooby-Doo?
It was the Laugh Olympics was like Hanna-Barbera's like big show that combined all their Hanna-Barbera shows in like a Olympic style competition. And so like there was like different teams. There was like a Scooby team, and they had like different Hanna-Barbera characters.
I think that was a play on wasn't there a Celebrity Olympics thing they had at the time?
Yeah, probably, definitely.
Yeah.
He voiced... Reed has been in many bit parts on radio, film, and television. He voiced Boris the Wolfhound in Disney's Lady and the Tramp. He was also the voice of Dum Dum in Hanna-Barbera's series Touche Turtle. Mm-hmm. Again, with the alliteration.
Touche Turtle, Dum
Touche
Dum.
Turtle.
He had a lot of alliterations.
He had a reoccurring role on the live-action Mickey Rooney series Mickey from 1964 to 65. So didn't last long at all. As Mr. Swindler. Alan Reed and Mickey Rooney would also work together along with Audrey Hepburn in the movie Breakfast at Tiffany's. And
that's something I recognize at least.
Yeah,
some of those other ones I was like, who, what?
But that's what I have on Fred Flintstone. Tony, why don't you go into Fred's loving redheaded spitfire of a wife, Wilma?
Yes, I will talk about your obsession with the ginger race.
Do the carpets.
I mean, hello and welcome.
Well, that's what everyone wants to know. Come on.
Wilma Flintstone, both voiced by Jean Vander Pyle. Alice Cramden, Ralph's strong-willed, red-headed wife, was the voice.
Oh, I'm sorry. That should have said Wilma and Pebbles were both voiced.
Personality influence for Wilma, except Wilma actually beats up Fred on numerous occasions.
It's very true. As we saw in the end of the episode.
What a twist, what a switch.
I feel like it was a worthwhile switch. Because if the switch was, we're going to actually just have him actually beat his wife, like, you know what I mean? Like, you can't, like, it's a cartoon, you can't do that.
No one's going to be like, okay, but if they show the wife, like, smashing the frying pan on top of Fred's head, they're like,
it is a double standard, you're right,
absolutely.
but it's, I don't think it's a bad one as far as cartoon comedy goes. I liked it. It was a good choice.
Double standards, and Jean Vander Pyle actually had quite the voice acting career for herself. She also voiced Pebbles Flintstone from the season 3 two-part introduction in episode 23, quote, "The Blessed Event," unquote, and 24, quote, "Carry on, Nurse Fred," unquote, to the series finale. She is also the voice of Rosie the Robot in the space-age counterparts, the Flintstones, the Jetsons, Nurse LaRue on Top Cat, Winsome Witch on The Secret Squirrel Show, and OG on Morilla Gorilla.
What was the Secret Squirrel Show? I feel like I remember that.
Secret Squirrel is the one, like, he was like a spy, and he would have the trench coat, and he had a mole as his like little like buddy that would like solve the mysteries with them. And, you know, they had, like, the animated villains and stuff like that. But
I'll have to take a look at it.
One thing to go off of what Tony was talking about with the two-part introduction to Pebbles is it was the first two-parter in the series of Flintstones. Really? Because usually they're just standalone episodes.
No, sure.
And this one, like, actually goes into the next episode. And that was a really unique thing for the Flintstones to do at the time.
Was it the first animated two-parter?
Yeah, well, because before the Flintstones animated series, especially like Hanna-Barbera and stuff, they would just have shorts. So it'd be like it would usually be like 2 shorts in one episode.
Yeah.
So this was the first time that they took a series and made it a full 30-minute episode. And the little introduction, like we see before the theme song gets going.
Of course.
So I guess in a sense, yes, it was the first 2-parter animated series. The Flintstones, lot of firsts.
Yeah,
they are like the what's the word I'm looking for?
Pioneers.
Yeah. Yep. So next, let's go into Betty Rubble. Betty was based off of the Honeymooners character Trixie Norton. Betty was originally played by June Foray in the pilot of The Flagstones, and then B. Benaderet took over the role during the series for seasons 1 to 4. What I should first say is Trixie Norton was like in the Honeymooners. Trixie was Alice's best friend. Instead of being next door neighbors, they lived in an apartment complex, and the Alice and Ed Norton lived above the Ralph and Alice. So they were like best friends, but also like annoyed easily with them.
Sure.
So B. Benaderet was brought along with her when she took over the Betty role, the now very iconic laugh of Betty, the like little giggle, the hee. We're going to have you add the
I
Betty.
will, but I'm still going to keep your version in because that was funny.
B. Benaderet had a pretty hefty radio career for herself, starting at the age of 12. For her voice acting career, she not only did she do the voice of Betty, but she was also the voice of Granny from the Looney Tunes from 1950 to
makes so much sense.
1953.
That makes so much sense. That's great.
But this is a real fun thing. Ironically enough, having the role taking over from her, the Granny role, from June Foray, who she took over the voice of Wilma from.
Yeah, that is a little full circle, I
Yeah,
guess.
right?
It's like,
Isn't that kind of cool?
This goes over there, and then this one over here, and then we just switch everybody, and we're good. Like, what the fuck?
B, she never really had any big acting roles, but her first breakout happened right after the Flintstones in a show called Petticoat Junction, which is Green Acres is a spin-off of Petticoat Junction.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
I didn't know
they're
that at all.
same universe, along with the Beverly Hillbillies.
Oh, I didn't know any of that.
So she is best known. So in the Beverly Hillbillies, the first season, she played cousin Pearl Bodine. And even like I was saying, even more famously, she played Kate Bradley in Petticoat Junction, who is the owner of the Shady Rest Hotel and the mother of the main characters Bobby Joe, Billy Joe, and Betty Joe. Funny enough, Granny from the Beverly Hillbillies actually crosses over into Petticoat Junction, and she acknowledges that the mom looks like their cousin because it's the same actress that plays them.
That's great. I love when they do show like that on TV.
she tells Jed, she's like, "Oh, they're related through cousin Pearl." And so
that's
like
a good little
they it's a cool little crossover thing they do, and then they cross over into Green Acres like quite a lot. The Flintstones, with Petticoat Junction actually being such a boom and super popular, she ended up getting scheduling conflicts with the Flintstones, and she had to step down as the role of Betty, which is where the second voice of Betty takes over. Her name is Jerry Johnson, and she took over the role from Jerry with a G.
Still though. Gerard, that's what it's sure.
Yeah.
Whenever
Gerard.
your name is short for Gerard, you spell Jerry with a G, not a J.
Yeah, so
that's still a man's name with a G.
Actually, at my job, I have a Irish, like off the boat Irish coworker. Love her accent. Her name is Geraldine, and it's spelled with a G. And we call her Jerry, but they don't spell it Gerry. They spell it Geri.
Sure. I've seen that.
But to each his own. So Jerry Johnson took over the role for seasons 5 and 6, and also in the movie A Man Named Flintstone.
Ask your friend Jerry to count to 3, because she'll say 1, 2, 3.
Bro, I love her accent. It's so great. Like, Tony, why don't you go into probably one of the best characters on the show, Barney?
Yes, I'll talk about your redhead fetish. I mean, Barney Rubble and Dino, voiced by the late and great Mel Blanc, nicknamed the Man of 1,000 Voices. The character was the prehistoric counterpart to Art Carney's character, Ed Norton on The Honeymooners, the annoying upstairs neighbor and best friend to Ralph Cramden. Mel Blanc actually did not...
Sounds familiar.
Keep going.
Did not actually want Barney's voice to be an impersonation of Art Carney at first, feeling like it was stealing another actor's voice. Which is why until episode 15 of season 1, Barbie had a high-pitched New Jersey accent. This was deemed too annoying, though, and soon the voice was changed to what we all know and love today.
Do the impersonation, Tony.
Gee, Fred, I don't know. I don't think I can do impersonations.
That's pretty good.
Damn it, Fred. I just wanted some of your fucking cereal.
Talk about some of the other characters Mel Blanc played, Tone.
Ooh. Wait, you mean we're done here?
Barney is, yes. Get the fuck out of here, Barney.
Oh, sorry. Somebody blew the foghorn.
Foghorn Leghorn? What?
Actually, he does play Foghorn Leghorn.
Oh, Mel Blanc.
I'm not getting it.
Because that's not annoying at all.
Let's see. Mel Blanc also voiced Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck, Sylvester the Cat, Speedy Gonzales, Pepe Le Pew, Foghorn Leghorn, Yosemite Sam, Roadrunner, and Porky Pig, from Looney Tunes.
So like most of the Looney Tunes.
Yeah, like big majority of them.
Jesus Christ.
Mr. Spacely from the Jetsons, the original voice of Woody Woodpecker,
Oh,
and
wow.
also
For the first few shorts.
and voiced Heathcliff the cat, as well as contributing vocal effects to Tom and Jerry. He was also the voice of Twiggy the Robot in the 1979 space age sci-fi series Buck Rogers in the 25th and a half century.
25th and a half?
No, that's Duck Dodgers. Does that and a half. The actual
blends.
thing is Buck Rogers in the 25th century. When Daffy Duck makes fun of it, it's Duck Dodgers in the 25th and a half century.
You see, it all blends like a good old trip.
Yeah, isn't it funny when parody and like the original, and you can't really 100%
But isn't
tell
it-
it apart sometimes?
But isn't it funny that it's Mel
like the
Blanc?
more time goes by, you're like, wait, that's not the same thing.
It's just funny that Mel Blanc is making fun of a show that he was in, because he was the
true,
voice
too.
of Twiggy from the original series, and then he voices Daffy Duck, who's making fun of Buck.
Yeah, that is kind of funny, isn't it? I didn't even think of that.
But there was actually a very sad accident that happened. Tony, why don't you go into that?
Can I add one more to the list of vocal contributing for Mel Blanc? He was the first voice of Toucan Sam in the commercials.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
All right, all together now, and be sure you use the right name for the secret cereal.
For what? For Fruit Loops.
All right.
They're crispy and delicious baked for breakfast or for acting snake. Made with real fruit flavor flake. Orange, cherry, lemon, hey!
Free, oops, late.
What?
Fruit Loops. Oops.
He was one of the most prolific voice actors of his time.
Without a doubt.
Here's an interesting fact for you. It's the testament of the legacy of Blank. In 1961, Blank was in a terrible car accident which left his entire body in a cast. Dawes Butler had to temporarily take over the voice in Season 2, Episodes 1, 2, 5, 6, and 9, with Mel actually recording episodes from his hospital bed.
Yep.
Now, what the hell does that tell you? What a trooper.
What a
veteran.
trooper, dude.
It's like Michael Jordan going out with the flu.
I was reading some interviews, and he was saying like how after the accident he was really scared that his voice
wasn't going to be the same.
It was going to be all messed up, which is like, obviously his moneymaker. So he thought like he wasn't going to be able to voice Barney anymore, voice like Daffy Duck or Bugs. But
yeah, so he made recordings from his hospital bed, and his co-stars Bea Benaderet and Jean Vander Pyle would visit and record with Blank in the hospital, which demonstrates the whole communal aspect of the series, and 100%. I feel like you could feel that within the show itself. It's very sweet,
like, you know what I mean? Betty and Wilma would come and record with him in the hospital bed, so that he could, not only just like have that, but like also have someone live to play off of.
Yeah,
which is like, Alan Reed, where are you, bro?
Yeah, he was recording his stuff at home by himself.
One of the what was I gonna say? The funny thing about Dawes Butler, the guy who came back and voiced like just a couple episodes, is Dawes Butler was the original voice, if you remember, of Fred Flintstone in the Flagstone pilot.
That's
so like he lost the role, and then they came back and they were like, "Hey,
you want to do Barney for a couple episodes?"
And then like once
Barney's like sort of in the hospital right now. Do you mind? I know it's a little awkward. Like we said, you were going to be Fred and everything. I was like, he's the star, and then we didn't even give you the role.
And then, and
now it's been like months and months, and you haven't been on the show at all. But I mean, would you mind?
Can you do it? And he was like, "Are
you busy? You don't have a job, right?"
So that was the original series, and then after that, the 1966 musical spy-themed movie that I brought up earlier, A Man Named Flintstone, came out and was considered the series finale of the original series. So now we'll go into some last-minute trivia before we finish with the episode. I'll start off. In an interview with Jackie Gleason, Gleason talks about how he had previously thought about filing a lawsuit against Hanna-Barbera and the Flintstones for using the likeness of him for Fred, but he ultimately left it alone because he did not want to be known as the guy who took Fred Flintstone off the air.
I mean, fair enough.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to be that guy. Webrock Online says the origin of Fred's iconic Yabba Dabba Doo catchphrase came from Alan Reed, who voiced Fred and reportedly used the line during a recording session. Instead of Yahoo while styling his hair, Reed's mother apparently used to say, "A little dabble do ya."
I love that.
From
little dabble
the-
do ya, yeah.
From the
I know
Brooklyn Jingles. Reed combined it into the well-known catchphrase we all love today.
Yeah,
Yabba
so
Dabba
he
Doo.
would say that it's
So it's
a
Yahoo combined
when
with
he
a
was a
little
kid,
dabble do ya.
his
Fair
mom
enough.
would like put that in his hair, the styling for the brile cream, brile cream, whatever. And the jingle was "A little dabble do ya," which it's funny.
No,
because,
I've still heard that a million times, and
Yeah.
I don't even know what the fuck it is.
Real cream, real cream, real cream, real cream. A little dabble do ya. Use more, only if you dare. But watch out, the gals will all pursue ya. They'll love to get their fingers in your hair.
Get Brill Cream in this handsome package today.
like just smoking
That
weed.
jingle,
People
yeah.
saying "a little dabble do ya" now means like
That's why a dab is called a dab.
Yeah.
Is from that, which
Yeah.
is fucking hilarious.
Yeah,
That's true.
so,
That's totally true.
Yeah.
That's fucking amazing.
So
The reason THC oil is called dabs is because of some fucking cream that
Which
came
Bates
out and
is
had a
ma-
good jingle
See,
fucking years and years and years
weed
ago.
is
Like, are you
stemmed
kidding
in
me?
everything we know and love.
Oh,
No, but I thought that was really cool. The Flintstones were also the first primetime animated series.
I feel like just the first one to be geared towards adults. Or
Yeah,
adults
because when you think about it, Family Guy, Simpsons, all for adults.
None of that would have been here if not for the Flintstones.
When the
That's for sure.
Flintstones
I'll definitely
started,
agree
it
with
was
that.
more aimed because primetime. I was looking it up is like considered 8 o'clock to like around 11.
Oh yeah.
So that's the prime time. It's like late night kind of,
Sure, sure.
kids aren't up watching it. Eventually they did, and you can see it in much later seasons, like when they add the Great Gazoo and stuff. It's kind of becoming a little more kiddie-ish, and a lot of adults started fizzling out of being regular watchers of the Flintstones, and it becomes more for kids. But when they first came out, it was like Flintstones were for the adults, and just happened to be cool enough for the kids to watch it, not
half
get the
jokes, yeah.
And then my very final thing was, like I had mentioned earlier, Family Guy creator Seth MacFarlane had previously wrote a pilot episode for Fox for a reboot of the Flintstones, which was going to be more adults, but things fell through, and that was supposed to be in 2011. So by like 2013 to 14, McFarlane was just flat out like, "All right, guys, I'm done. I can't. I tried. It's not going to happen."
I would have liked to see that.
I would have loved
It
to
would
see
have been
that.
interesting.
Yeah, see
I
where
think he would have been able to pull it off.
if
more than
anyone
anyone
was.
else.
Yeah, if anyone
Yeah.
was. So, guys, that is our Flintstone episode. Thank you for joining. Like we do here on the show, we check out the episodes. We see if they last to today's standards. I think it does a really good job. It's a lot funnier than I remember.
Fair enough.
Because
You
my
probably
dad
only got half the jokes.
Yeah,
before,
my dad would like play it as a kid, and I'd be like, "All right, it's the Flintstones." Like, it's kind of like after a while, it's like I get it, rock everything. All right,
Yeah, fair enough.
But like going back and watching it, I was genuinely laughing my ass off. Like it was really good. Weed might have helped, but it made me happy. I enjoyed it.
The Flintstoned.
The Flintstones.
How did we get through this whole episode with not making one stoned joke? I'm impressed with
I know. But guys, check out all our other episodes on Plug and Nug Radio. We have Scaredy Cat Watches, we have Ear Diet, we have the Goons, the Goon Show. Welcome to the Goon Show. Keep an ear out for more content.
Just for me, guys, just for a little bit of an outro here.
Mm-hmm.
Can we sing "Welcome to We Are the Flintstones"? Whatever the fuck it is.
Flintstones, meet the Flintstones. They're the modern age, modern
family.
Stone.
No one can ever get past that.
Town of Bedrock. They're about to make history.
There we go.
But I like the Simpson version where Homer's driving in his car and he sings the theme song. And instead, Homer goes, Simpson, meet the Simpsons. They're the modern family from the town of Springfield. I'm about to hit the cherry tree. And then like he like crashes the car into a tree and he screams.
Oh my god.
Oh, fair enough.
But all right, guys, have a wonderful morning or night. And peace and love.
Peace.
Peace.
All right, we Gucci. Oh yeah.